The following content contains sensitive material that may be disturbing or triggering to some listeners. Topics include discussions of psychological abuse, traumatic experiences, and other potentially distressing themes. Viewer discretion is advised. If you or someone you know is struggling, please seek support from a trusted friend, family member, or professional. Welcome to another gripping episode of The Sins of Scientology. My name is Sandy McKenna, and along with my co-host Abraham Ulrich, we unravel the haunting and tragic tale of Lisa McPherson, a woman whose life began in the seemingly serene suburbs of Dallas, but took a dark and unexpected turn. Lisa's story unfolds in what appears to be a typical middle-class household, but in truth her childhood was anything but typical. Tragic events cast long, ominous shadows over Lisa's early years, setting the stage for a life steeped in sorrow and searching. Despite her personal demons, Lisa embarked on a promising career, and then her path crossed with Scientology. What began as a curiosity soon morphed into a profound and all-consuming commitment. Marriage and relationships were marred with turmoil and despair, yet Lisa's dedication to Scientology only deepened, driven by her desperate belief in its promise of salvation. Her life became a relentless cycle of intense study and auditing as she sought to purge herself of unseen traumas and achieve spiritual clarity. Financial struggles and emotional isolation punctuated Lisa's life. Her letters from this period paint a picture of a woman on the edge, torn between hope and despair. Moments of professional success were overshadowed by personal losses and Scientology's suffocating grip. By 1995, Lisa's life was spiraling into darkness. Her final weeks were a blur of erratic behavior and desperate cries for help, shrouded in secrecy and darkness. On November 18, 1995, what appeared to be a minor accident became the catalyst for Lisa's final, haunting plea for help. This is where the unsettling mystery of Lisa McPherson's last 17 days begins. Join us as we uncover the dark and twisted tale of Lisa McPherson, a woman lost in the winding corridors of faith, searching for salvation, but finding only an abyss. Lisa's is a story that will send shivers down your spine, and a narrative of eerie obsession and ultimate tragedy.
Lisa McPherson's story began in the quiet suburbs of Dallas, where she was born into a middle-class family. Lisa McPherson was born on February 10, 1959, to parents Jim and Fanny McPherson. Her father Jim was an insurance salesman and her mother Fanny was a homemaker. Despite the seemingly typical suburban facade, Lisa's childhood was far from ordinary. Both her parents struggled with alcoholism. However, in the late 1970s, her mother Fanny found sobriety through Alcoholics Anonymous, bringing a glimmer of hope into their tumultuous household. Lisa was the younger of two siblings with an older brother, Steve, who was just 2 years her senior. In 1973, when he was 16, her brother was involved in criminal activities such as stealing lawnmowers, radios, and other items from local neighborhoods. He'd then bring these stolen items to an older acquaintance who would sell them. Sadly, that wasn't the worst of it, though. Gun in hand, Steve ended his life that year. This devastating event marked the beginning of many difficult periods in her life. Grappling with her grief, Lisa turned to drinking, smoking weed, and promiscuity, seeking solace in self-destructive behaviors. Despite the chaos in her personal life, Lisa loved music and theater. She was in drama in high school, and although she never pursued theater, she was always drawn to the art. In 1977, Lisa graduated with honors from Bryan Adams High School in Dallas, ranking 60th out of 743 students. Her academic success was a testament to her resilience and determination. After high school, Lisa began working as a customer service representative for Southwestern Bell, a phone company. She excelled in her role, earning the admiration of both her customers and colleagues. It was during this time that a co-worker introduced her to Scientology, planting the seed that would become a significant part of her life. At the age of 19, Lisa met Don Boss, a 35-year-old man whom she quickly became entangled with. Don was the uncle to her hairdresser Myra. He called every day, 3 times a day, until she finally agreed to go out with him. Their whirlwind romance led to an impulsive elopement after just 4 weeks of dating. Unfortunately, the relationship turned abusive and Lisa soon realized her mistake. Within months, the marriage ended, but Don remained a lingering presence in her life. Remarkably, in 1982, they remarried despite the unresolved issues of their past.
During this tumultuous period, Lisa read Dianetics, the foundational text of Scientology. This introduction marked the beginning of her deepening involvement in the controversial organization, setting the stage for the tragic events that would later unfold. Why Lisa became a Scientologist, in her own words. An on-purpose group is all I ever wanted to work with. With this, I can operate at my best capacity with little counterintention. A sane planet, a better future, a future period. I don't know why, I just knew something about Scientology could save me from the mess I was in. The Dallas Scientology mission was called the Center for Personal Enhancement. With its welcoming atmosphere and community of over 100 members, it was seen as a positive environment for personal growth. Lisa, known for her fun-loving and exuberant nature, was a regular at the mission. She loved country line dancing and was often described as the life of the party. However, as she began dedicating more and more time to the mission, her social activities dwindled. Lisa immersed herself in Scientology studies, foregoing parties and family gatherings. Lisa's journey into Scientology started like many others, with a personality test and some introductory lectures. Given her history of drug use, she was required to undergo the Purification Rundown, a detoxification program that, according to Scientology, helps rid the body of harmful substances and paves the way for spiritual well-being. The regimen involved hours of daily exercise, time in a sauna, and a strict nutritional plan, including megadoses of vitamins and minerals. One of the required supplements, niacin, can be hazardous in such high doses. Despite the program's rigorous and sometimes dangerous nature, the ultimate goal was to achieve spiritual gains. After completing the Purification Rundown, or Purif, Lisa advanced to the next stage, life repair. Scientology describes life repair as a form of counseling designed to improve a person's outlook on life by resolving personal problems and overcoming barriers. The program is tailored to each individual's specific issues, aiming to free them from their past pain, improve relationships, and reduce anxiety and stress. Central to this process is the e-meter, a device certified Scientology counselors or auditors use to measure changes in an individual's thoughts and help uncover the root causes of their problems. The year was 1982, and in no uncertain terms, the church let Lisa know that her then-husband, Don Boss, was a suppressive person, or an SP. According to Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard, a suppressive person is a person who seeks to suppress or squash any betterment activities of a group. This is the person whose behavior is calculated to be disastrous. He went on to say that well-known examples of such antisocial personality types are Napoleon and Hitler. The term is also used to refer to individuals who doubt the organization and try to get others to side with them against Scientology. This label not only estranged Lisa from Don, but also solidified her commitment to Scientology.
During this tumultuous period, Lisa kept extensive Scientology journals known as overt withhold write-ups. These deeply personal accounts included details of her sexual encounters and an affidavit attesting to her husband's criminal activities. Her marriage to Don ended about a year later. Reflecting on her decision to join Scientology, Lisa once said she did it to, quote, get away from the criminal psychotic she was connected to, end quote. This was a transformative time for Lisa. She adopted Scientology's unique terminology, referring to people as terminals in physical items as MEST, M-E-S-T, standing for matter, energy, space, and time. Her friends found this change odd, and as a result, many drifted away, leaving Lisa surrounded primarily by her fellow Scientologists. Lisa McPherson's deepening involvement with Scientology marked a significant turning point in her life, one that isolated her from her past and bound her even closer to the controversial organization. Lisa was no stranger to heartache. In 1983, her father J.T. McPherson tragically took his own life at the age of 64. His health had been declining for more than a decade, suffering a stroke that forced him into retirement. He sought help from various doctors and underwent at least 3 surgeries, but nothing provided relief. Eventually, doctors told him his issues were not physical and suggested to see a psychiatrist. He became bedridden for about 6 months before untimely taking his own life 1 decade after his son. These profound losses undoubtedly shaped her outlook on life and emotional state, setting the stage for her later struggles. Around this challenging time, Lisa found solace in the Church of Scientology. In 1983, she began working part-time at the Dallas Mission, conducting personality tests and volunteering at church phone drives and fundraisers. The church offered a sense of community and purpose, providing Lisa with an escape from her personal grief. Lisa's involvement with the Dallas Mission of Scientology became a significant part of her life. She was committed to the church's activities and helped whenever possible. This involvement gave her a sense of belonging and a way to channel her energy positively amidst her turmoil. It was also around this time that Lisa met David and Bonetta Slaughter. Lisa didn't know it then, but Bonetta would become a key figure in her future. The Slaughter owned a successful mortgage brokerage company during the real estate boom in Dallas. As major donors to Scientology, they were also rising stars under Scientology's spiritual bridge.
In 1984, in a Scientology ceremony in Dallas, Texas, 24-year-old Lisa married Eugene Skanetsky, a fellow Scientologist she met at the mission. Church records show that in 1985, Lisa worked for a Dallas mortgage company owned by David and Bonetta Slaughter. Lisa was making a really good salary, which was able to furnish the newlyweds' new condo and pay for a Porsche. Her husband Gene worked full-time at the Scientology mission, so I imagine he wasn't paying for a whole lot of the marital assets. While Lisa continued to earn a good living, it wasn't long before they were in serious debt. They owed tens of thousands of dollars to a credit union, 2 banks, and 3 credit card companies. During the day, she worked for dentist Steve Craig till around 4 or 5 p.m. From there, she went straight to the Dallas org and was on post until midnight or after. Then she went home and went to bed. October 1988. Gene was unaffected by the couple's mounting financial woes and took off for L.A. to sign a billion-year contract and dedicate his life to the Sea Org, Scientology's most dedicated. Lisa followed, hoping to build a new life together within the Scientology community, so she left Dallas. Joining the Sea Org was not what Lisa had hoped it to be. The pressures and demands of life in Los Angeles and the Sea Org took their toll on Lisa and the marriage. Lisa left the Sea Org, L.A., and Gene. Only her debt followed. Not only did Lisa owe banks and credit card companies, but she also owed Scientology. This meant that until Lisa could make some headway settling her freeloader debt to Scientology, she would not be able to receive Scientology services. This was yet another crushing blow that added pressure to the already overwrought Lisa. When someone joins Scientology as staff by signing a contract for 2.5, 5, or even 1 billion years, they are technically entitled to free services such as auditing and training. However, if the individual becomes dissatisfied and decides to leave, they are issued a freeloader's bill, which charges them for all the services they received while on staff at full rates. This can add up, and in the case of Lisa McPherson, it most certainly did. In 1989 and 90, amid her divorce from Gene, her second husband, and facing bankruptcy with $45,000 in mounting debt, Lisa received no auditing services from the Church of Scientology. Later that same year, Lisa underwent a Scientology security check, or SEC check, a form of interrogation following her departure from church staff. The following year, in 1991, just 1 year after emerging from bankruptcy court, Lisa donated $11,828 to the church's Celebrity Center in Dallas. Financial records from 1992 reveal that from March to December, Lisa wrote checks totaling $11,925 to the Dallas church and associated entities, which amounted to 29% of her income for that period. A separate document from the Dallas church indicates that her total donations for the year amounted to $21,781. One of the questions in her life history for Scientology, Lisa was asked about her relationship with her mother. She wrote the following, referring to her mother Fanny. In the past, she has opposed Scientology as well as me being a staff member. Her comments have been limited to thinking I work too hard, and she has said she thinks the church gets all my money. She asked me on 3 or 4 occasions, when do I plan to get out of Scientology? My answer being probably never led her to threaten to write me out of her will. The last time I queried this, she had not done so. She has never liked the idea of me being in Dianetics or Scientology. She has always believed it to be a brainwashing cult. She saw a 60 Minutes program once and said it had to be true, otherwise they couldn't have put it on TV. This particular program was in theta towards the church. The most frequent question I ask her is what she has observed in me since being connected to the church. Her response is always very positive with regard to my overall happiness. My marriage, my disconnection from the druggy friends I once associated with whom she strongly opposed, my previous promiscuity, my upstat mess. She has evidenced an apartment full of furniture, a new Porsche, a diamond necklace, new clothes, etc. All of these were acquired since my marriage to Jean in the church. I have done OW write-ups and had changes in her communication line, seeing how I have in the past created antagonism with her. I have had a PTS rundown and she was addressed. I have applied good roads and fair weather with her continually since then. She does not openly say things to me. However, in a calm cycle with one of my old friends from high school, he told me that my mother told him I was involved in a goddamn cult. This was about a month ago. I explained Scientology to him, and he said he knew that I wouldn't be involved in a cult. I later questioned my mother about it, and she denied ever saying anything. My attitude towards my mother is that she's an SP. For all practical purposes, I've spiritually disconnected from her. The only reason I keep any calm line with her whatsoever is to avoid creating antagonism with Scientology.
By 1990, the divorce and bankruptcy cases had been settled and Lisa had left the phone company. That summer, she went to work for AMC Publishings, a company owned by Jeffrey Schaefer along with David and Bonetta Slaughter. AMC created advertising packets and sold leads to insurance companies. As a Scientology-owned company, AMC followed the management and administrative principles of L. Ron Hubbard. The World Institute of Scientology Enterprises, or WISE, is an organization within the Church of Scientology that licenses the administrative tech to secular Scientology-owned companies, for a fee, of course. This allows them to use an org board to delegate responsibilities, manage employees by analyzing their productivity, and assign them various conditions of existence to improve their output. Scientology believes there are 3 conditions of existence. These 3 conditions comprise or make up one's life. They are be, do, and have. Be, beingness, that could be someone's name, someone's profession or character. Do, doing, meaning an action, a function, accomplishments, the attainment of goals, fulfilling of purpose, or any change of position in space. Have, havingness, meaning owning, possessing, being capable of commanding, positioning, taking charge of an object, energies, or spaces. Lisa flourished in this environment. She was a natural at sales. In just a year, Lisa was flushed again. Her debt repaid to the church, and she was again able to receive auditing and other church services. Here's something to take note of. Not only was Bonetta Slaughter Lisa's boss, but she was also considered a friend and was her FSM. It's not unusual and acceptable for Scientology business owners and their staff members to become field staff members or FSMs. FSMs are salespersons trained to recruit people for Scientology services. Depending on the type of service, the FSMs earn 10 to 15% commission on everyone they select or sign up for a Scientology service or course. This could be mighty lucrative for someone yielding influence. From the outside looking in, it's a bit unethical. Business and church intersect, muddy in the waters. AMC Publishing closed its Dallas location in December 1983 and relocated to Scientology's Mecca, Clearwater, Florida. With around 20 employees, predominantly Scientologists, Lisa McPherson was one of them.
1994 starts on a high note in Clearwater, Florida. The move seems promising as wealthy Scientology business owners, David and Bonetta Slaughter, and their relocated staff from Dallas, including Lisa, are welcomed into town with plenty of fanfare. But to truly understand how Lisa is adjusting, what she's thinking and how she's feeling, is expressed in the following letters she wrote to friends and fellow Scientologists. January 4th, 1994. My dearest Robin, I received your lovely letter today. Thank you for taking the time to impart your deepest thoughts on me. There simply are no words to express my everlasting, well, you know, it's the thing you say right after you've cleaned out someone's complete grocery supply. Oh yeah, appreciation, that's it. You probably already had figured that out, didn't you? Well, I'm here. Most of the boxes have been emptied and unpacked, and it's beginning to feel more like home. I think you have the best apartment of anyone. It's definitely nicer than the ones I've lived in before. I just need to get some living room and dining room furniture. It's different here for sure. I have to adjust to these Yankee customs of driving like maniacs, and everything else is slow. I mean, they're going to be going backwards if they go any slower. I'm sure I'll adjust. Poor David wasn't prepared for my ability to drive. We got here in a day and a half. I'd do it again tomorrow if I had to. Brenda and I checked out the local country bar. It was a genuine bust, and we went to a movie instead. I'll keep my Dallas dance halls, thank you. Not much else to report here. I just wanted to let you know I'm well and really glad you wrote. Keep in touch. Love, Lisa. January 13th, 1994. Dear Robin, I got your second letter and I'm a little late answering. Sorry, my folders did arrive. Thanks so much for making sure they got shipped. I did see Cindy at the Fort Harrison last night. She was headed somewhere and didn't have time to stop and chat. I'm not really hanging out at Flag. I routed in last night. Actually, half of us did. The base honored us with an incredible steak dinner at the Hibiscus. All of us attended. It was incredible. I've been working late, 8 or so almost every night. I haven't been able to do much else. As for my bridge progress, I got my TE, and guess what my first action is? L11. I was shocked because I never even hinted that I'd be interested in my L's. My main interest has to be just to move up the bridge. After the Enlightenment, I was more excited than I had ever been to recall about my bridge cycle. I mean, I was thrilled. Did you get that, Robin? Hey, are you paying attention? I was like, it was first Christmas kind of feeling. I can't believe it. I am fucking going to do an L. I'll probably be starting it when you get this letter. My new place is incredible. Of everyone's apartments, mine is the finest. Plus, I'm putting a new living room and dining room furniture so I can make it extra nice. The office is perfect, except I have to empty my own trash. It's great, really. The temp has been fairly mild so far. I'm hoping to try out that fish cleaning IC post you were telling me about. Jeff has collected my initial fees already, and as long as I don't blab to anyone, I may get a cut-rate membership and startup package at a steal. Well, it's 10 p.m. and I have to be sessionable tomorrow, so I better skedaddle for now. Tell everyone hello for me. Hugs, Lisa. P.S. Would you tell Roy thanks for the data and my donos, please? February 25th, 1994. Dear Force, thanks for your letter and staying in touch. I have received the facts, thanks. I did get the tapes, thanks again. I'm on solo and I'm winning like a mother, Force. Not many know, but I've never read Dianetics all the way through before. I am finally getting the scoop on what it is I'm striving for by becoming clear. Pretty scary, huh? I'm on course Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 10 p.m., and just loving life. Instead of death, I'm changing the idiom because I think it's more theta intention, don't you? Anyway, since I'm actually understanding what Dianetics is, I'm finding my willingness to descend has gone way up. Went dancing last night and told 2 guys I danced with that they had to get the book and read it. Bet they do too. That's about all for me. I'll tell everyone hello for you. You tell everyone hello for me. Love you, Lisa. March 6, 1994. Dear Robin, I finally found a few minutes to write you. Sorry for the comm lag. I need to catch you up on the latest and greatest, but I don't know where to start. I'll just jump right in and tell you first, his name is Kurt Payne, also known as Jack, and depending on what day it is, Hakeem. I told him I was accustomed to being with a lot of men, and he was very accommodating. I originally met him at the L's, HGC, where we began sparring. I liked him. He didn't seem intimidated by my magnificent presence and breathtaking, voluptuous breasts. In fact, I don't even think he noticed. It's quite a funny story, actually, and if you have time, I will impart the beginning chapters of our love adventure to you. May 8th, 1994. Dear Robin, got your letter and comments as the devil's advocate. That's very good of you as a friend to bring up the possibility of my living arrangement. It has been re-stimulating, I must admit. So I met someone else. Kurt Payne is the guy I met on L11, and we're just getting to know each other. I'd like to visit with you by phone about it soon. Hell, by the time we talk, I'm liable to have found someone else. You know me. Since I've been talking to Kurt, I'm not re-stimulated by my roommate anymore. I actually started listening to my tapes. I'm on the first one and I like it. You asked about any substitute for country and Western dancing. I have set different priorities and it isn't that much of an issue. Hey, when we talk again, ask me to tell you about all the wins I've had over buying a very expensive computer. I have not done any boating yet. Take care. Love ya, Lisa. June 19th, 1994. From Flag FSO regarding general amnesty. CC Ethics Files. Dear Lisa, I have received your request to accept the general amnesty issued on October 7, 1993. With this amnesty, you are forgiven any antisocial or anti-Scientology deeds prior to midnight, October 7, 1993, in accordance with HCO PL March 6, 65 amnesty policy. This amnesty was issued to help you look into the future and get on with the job as a unified team with the rest of Scientologists in our area. This is what is expected of you. July 10, 1994. Dear Dean, hello again. I was happy to receive your letter. Thanks for keeping the calm line in. You asked about my progress on the L's. I have only done one, and currently I am doing setups for the next one. I have a handsome hunk I chased and caught successfully. His name is Kurt, and I have every intention of marrying him one day soon. We are very happy together, and I'll keep you posted on our progress. I heard from Bill and Robin recently. Sounds like everyone is really applying the definition of team and doing a good job of holding down the fort. When do you leave for L.A.? Who is replacing you? Continue applying the tech throughout your life, and you'll surely do well at anything. What course of auditing are you on now? Best, Lisa. November 15, 1994. Dear Robin, I was more than delighted to be in receipt of your most recent letter. But you certainly were chatty. I'm not on my solo course anymore. Decided I don't really need to do it after all. Heck, I've been in Scientology for 10 years and I certainly know what's going on without having to do a course. I've got me a couple of meters and an electrical outlet. I'm nearly there. Oh, Robin, I've been doing my expanded grades and I'm completely and totally blown out over it. I've reached the EP of grade 1. I was so thrilled I couldn't even believe it. I used to go up to the grade chart in the HGC and read the EP of grade 1 and think, yeah, it must be that way for some people, but that just isn't real for me. Of course, I've had many steadily dramatizing this unflat grade for 7 or so years. I have friends who will attest, so I have no idea what that's all about. But I got it, man. My last comm to you, I may have mentioned that my boyfriend and I broke up, and what a sorry son of a bitch he was. Well, we are back together, and I could write an entire book on it, but not now. Write me a letter and tell me what's going on. Love you, Lisa. November 19th, 1994. Dear Michelle, hey girl, thanks for the letter. Things are going well here. I'm really busy with work and auditing. I'm active on the OTC, and I just joined the Hubbard International Women's Association. We had our first meeting last Sunday. I'm about to begin grade 2 EXP, and I'm excited about that. What's happening with the Dallas OTC? I have 0 comm lines active in Dallas to send to the org right now. How's Division 6? Best, Lisa. November 24th, 1994. Dear Aaron, well, I got your letter today, and I'm so happy to hear from you. I had just gotten letters from Robin and Bill, and I thought about you. I should have written you before now, but I'm sorry that I haven't. You asked me a million questions in your letter, and since I don't have it, I'll do my best from the hip. I just completed my grade 1 EXP. Oh my God, what a complete relief. I also did grade 0 EXP, and it was incredible. I've done my setup program, and I'm ready to go on to L12. I should start that next week. That is really exciting about your wife coming home in December. Wow, I bet you can hardly wait. I found myself a true love, a white guy. We have been dating since May, and so far as I can tell, he's a keeper. We're both working at really creating our 2D, and it has not been a cakewalk. We have been through quite a few interesting experiences, but it has steadily improved as we work our scenes out. You asked about Flag. I don't know how I can truly convey what it's like living here, but here are a few things you should know. People move up the bridge here. The public strongly enforces the agreement that being on course or the HGC is what's acceptable. There are some, I'm sure, who don't come around, who are bogged for whatever reason, but the active field is active. You know, after having been here for a short time, that there isn't anything Flag cannot handle. The environment of Scientology schools and businesses makes it very safe and sane. It's like utopia. I live in a townhouse near the water in a very upstate community. It's the nicest place I've ever lived. Well, that's about it from here. Thanks for writing, and let's do keep in touch. Love you, Lisa.
1995 was a rough year for Lisa. Her relationship with Kurt Payne ended that spring. The breakup, combined with lagging sales and decreased commission, sent Lisa into a downward spiral, putting her in a very dark place. She was doing auditing at Flag and ethics handling at work. The purpose of Scientology ethics is to eliminate people's interest in things other than Scientology. She started to complain that she was unable to find herself and expressed she no longer wanted auditing, a crime by Scientology standards. As a result, she was assigned to an audit and repair program designed to repair past auditing mistakes. This, instead of helping Lisa, led her deeper into helplessness and despair. Mentally and physically exhausted, Lisa took a leave of absence from AMC at the end of June 1995. She checked into the Fort Harrison Hotel in Clearwater and began an introspective rundown. The introspective rundown is a controversial Scientology procedure that is intended to handle a psychotic break or complete mental breakdown. The first step is to isolate the person with all attendants in complete and utter silence. Auditing sessions were given frequently, otherwise Lisa was not to be spoken to. The theory here is that if you can find what caused the person to become psychotic, then you can handle the cause and break the psychotic episode. At the hotel, Lisa was assigned a roommate who saw it that she ate well and rested in order to be sessionable. In other words, that nothing would get in the way of Lisa's auditing. During this time, Lisa would roller coaster from upbeat to dark and moody. Here's a letter from September 2nd, 1995 that Lisa sent her friend Robin. Dear Robin, I'm alive. Holy smokes, I didn't think I would make it. Ask Dan Levin. He'll tell you how pitiful I looked. Looks like I'm out of the woods now. Thank you for being there for me. Although I didn't write much, I thought about you many, many times, and the stability of our comm line definitely helped see me through. I'm still in the Hubbard Guidance Center, HGC, and get in sessions daily. You'll never believe the level of care and service I received at Flag. I am ready to go on tour and tell the world how anything can be handled. Although the last several months are still sort of blank for me, I can tell you that the days ahead will be much brighter, and I will keep you posted on my progress. The Deputy Senior CS is waiting for me. Can you believe it? I barely can. These guys are something else. Do you know who should come to Flag? I'll help them get here. I got your card. I love it. Thank you for being my friend. I love you. Lisa. In September 1995, during a ceremony at the Fort Harrison Hotel, Lisa McPherson was publicly declared clear, a state in which a Scientologist is believed to be free from inhibitions caused by painful subconscious images. It was a grueling and expensive journey to get here. The last 5 years of her life, Lisa spent more than $175,000 on Scientology counseling. Marty Rathbun served as the senior executive of the Church of Scientology, holding a position of Inspector General at the Religious Technology Center, RTC. His responsibilities included overseeing the internal maintenance and consistency of Scientology practices and procedures across its organization. He ensured strict adherence to all church policies as stated by Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard. In this interview with the St. Petersburg Times, Rathbun discusses Lisa McPherson's attainment of the state of clear. Let's listen to this audio clip.
When all this, where it's a completely quiet area, everybody knows that has been a Scientology for very long. That whole huge floor, it's all connected by a common hallway, is a silent zone because people are having auditing sessions in each one of them. I was walking through that one day and a door kicked open and I heard this loud voice hollering in glee in the hallway. And I thought that was really odd. And I went and inquired about what was going on. And I went up to one of the class 12s and I said, "What's happening here?" He said, "Oh, that's Lisa McPherson. She just attested to clear." So I just, even though I was told I wasn't supposed to, say anything to Angie, I went down to talk to Angie. I said, you've got somebody up in the Hubbard Guidance Center who just attested to clear, who looks to me to be on the verge of psychosis. And she quickly reminded me that I'm not supposed to be having any say about anything and, keep your mouth shut. She said, "That's Lisa McPherson." She says, "David Miscavige is CSing and programming her case, and I'm reporting on it weekly." Like, in other words, buzz off. To which I just went about my business and didn't think anything about it.
The following letter was written to Debbie Cook, captain of the Flag Service Organization, basically the CEO of Scientology's spiritual mecca in Clearwater, Florida. October 21st, 1995. Dear Mr. Cook, this letter is late. The truth of the matter is I have a stack of thank you letters that have been growing on my desk to people, your staff, who I've wanted to acknowledge for their help over the past year during my journey through the black hole. I'm sure you have seen many people struggle as they move up the bridge. What I have experienced was the worst struggle I have ever encountered in this lifetime, and I grew up in a pretty rambunctious neighborhood. Thank goodness I was not alone in this struggle at Flag. I was surrounded by your incredible staff. There are not enough adequate modifiers to describe the love, care, competence, and encouragement I received while I was there. There were some who were closer to me than others, providing me with constant service and relentless care. I tried to name them in order to send thank you notes, but I feared I would unintentionally leave someone out and did not want to take the chance. There were people who were propping me up all over the base, day after day, whom I never personally had spoken to, but I would see them and feel their care and attention for me. It is because of this group that exists at Flag and how very close you work together as a team that helped me through. This letter is extended to each and every staff member. Thank you all for helping to save my life. I want you all to know that I am in power on personal wins. Every day my life is richer and more enhanced and so much more fun, I can hardly contain myself. I know one thing from all this that will protect me and keep me from the black hole again. If we only do just exactly what LRH has written and nothing else, it will all come out all right. Being a professional Scientologist carries a huge responsibility, as all staff posts do. I intend to do all I can to help clear this planet. Thank you for contributing to me and for pushing me through to a done. I will do this with others now, I promise you. I love each and every one of you very, very much. Love, Lisa McPherson.
6 weeks later, late in the afternoon on November 18, 1995, 36-year-old Scientologist Lisa McPherson was involved in a seemingly minor car accident. Though she was not injured, inexplicably, she stripped off her clothes and began walking down the street naked. Paramedics rushed her back into the ambulance and asked why she had taken off her clothes. With desperation in her eyes, she pleads to paramedics, "I need help. I need to talk to someone."
Thank you for joining us for this eye-opening episode of Sins of Scientology. The tragic story of Lisa McPherson is a stark reminder of the complexities and potential dangers that can arise within controversial organizations. Her life, filled with hope, despair, and an unwavering quest for spiritual clarity, resonates deeply with all who hear it.
As we continue to explore Lisa's journey, we hope to shed light on the profound impact that her experiences have had, not only on those who knew her, but also on the wider public who seek understanding and justice. In our next episode, we'll delve deeper into the circumstances leading up to Lisa's horrifying final days, uncovering more about the practices and pressures that ultimately led to her demise.
We appreciate your support and encourage you to reach out to us with your thoughts, ideas, and questions. You can connect with us through social media and on our YouTube channel.
If you like our content, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or similar issues, don't forget that help is always available. Stay tuned for the next part of Lisa McPherson's story. Together, we can continue to seek the truth and honor the memory of those who have been affected by Scientology's darker side. Until next time, I am Abraham Auric.
And I'm Sandy McKenna.
Thank you for listening to Sins of Scientology. Until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking, and may your journey be as rich and enlightening as the stories you encounter.